Let's talk about something that gives every IT pro nightmares: downtime. It can cost a business thousands, sometimes even millions. But what if? What if you could just get rid of it forever? Well, in this explainer, we're diving into the powerful duo of Hyper-V and failover clustering that claims to do exactly that.
I want you to just pause and think about that for a second. What if your most critical servers, the ones running your website, your databases, your entire business, what if they just never went down? Not for maintenance, not because a piece of hardware failed. Never.
Sounds pretty nice, right? Maybe a little like science fiction, but it's not. This is a very real technology called a failover cluster, and it's basically the ultimate digital safety net. Let's break it down.
So let's get into the big idea here. The best way to think about this is like building a self-healing server team. It's all built around a concept called high availability, which, is a fancy way of saying it's designed to keep your stuff up and running all the time. No exceptions.
Okay, so what is a failover cluster? At its heart, it's a team of servers, or nodes as they're called, that all work together. But here's the real magic. It's all automated. If one server in the team goes down, another one instantly, and I mean instantly, picks up the slack. There's no frantic 3 a.m. phone call, no panic. The system just heals itself. And that seamless switch, that's called failover.
All right, so you're probably wondering, okay, that sounds great, but how does this magic trick actually work? Well, let's peel back the curtain and look at the core components that make this continuous service a reality.
It really just boils down to 3 key ingredients. First, you've got your nodes. These are your actual physical servers, the workhorses, all running Hyper-V. Second, you need shared storage. This is a central pool of data that all the servers can see and access at the same time. And third, networking. Think of these as dedicated, super-fast highways that let all the servers talk to each other constantly. These 3 pillars are the foundation for the whole thing.
Now, for one of the absolute coolest features, and this is a real game changer: live migration. Imagine moving a running computer, a virtual machine, from one physical box to another while it's still running, with literally zero downtime. This is incredible not just for emergencies, but for planned maintenance. You can do server updates in the middle of a workday, and your users won't have a clue.
So here's the play-by-play. Your virtual machine is humming along on host A, but you, the admin, need to take host A offline for some updates. No problem. You just click a button to start a live migration. The VM, while still serving users, just floats over to host B. The service keeps going without a single hiccup. It's a truly seamless, invisible handoff.
But wait, how can host B instantly take over for host A? The secret sauce here is something called Cluster Shared Volumes, or CSV. The best way to think of it is like a shared library. All the servers in the cluster can read and write to the same books, or in this case, the same data, at the exact same time. This makes sure that no matter which server is running the show, it has access to the exact same up-to-the-second information.
Now, in the old days, that shared storage library we just talked about, that required some seriously expensive, specialized hardware. But a much more modern approach called Storage Spaces Direct, or S2D, totally changes the game. It lets you take the regular hard drives that are already inside each of your servers and pull them all together. It magically transforms them into one giant, super resilient storage resource. It's incredibly powerful and way more cost-effective.
And you should know, this tech isn't just sitting still gathering dust. Oh no! The latest version, Windows Server 2025, has given these clusters some serious new superpowers. We're talking faster, stronger, and built from the ground up to be ready for the cloud.
This chart gives you a pretty good idea of the evolution here. Recovery is way faster because the system can detect a failed server much more quickly. For networking, they've standardized on something called switch embedded teaming, which basically means you get better speed and reliability right out of the box. And maybe the biggest shift, the whole architecture is now built with the cloud in mind, with deep Azure integration.
And the sheer scale of this stuff now is, well, it's just staggering. Look at this number. In Windows Server 2025, a single virtual machine can have up to 2,048 virtual CPUs. That is an absolutely insane amount of processing horsepower for your biggest, most demanding applications.
And it doesn't stop with the CPUs. The amount of memory you can throw at a VM is equally mind-blowing. 240 terabytes per virtual machine. I mean, with that kind of memory, you can run massive, data-hungry applications that you never would have dreamed of virtualizing before.
Of course, with all this power, you need serious protection. And they've built in some incredible new security features that act like a digital fortress. Shielded VMs, for instance, are like putting your virtual machine in a locked safe deposit box. It's so secure that not even the system administrator can peek inside. Then you have virtualization-based security, which uses the hardware itself to carve out these super secure, isolated zones for your most critical data.
So after looking at all these components, all these new features, let's just zoom out for a second. What's the real takeaway here? What's the big picture? It's all about creating what you could call invisible infrastructure. It really all comes down to this idea. You're not managing a bunch of separate, fragile servers anymore. You're not worried about which individual machine might fail. Instead, this technology transforms them all into a single, powerful resource pool that can heal itself. The individual parts just disappear, and what you're left with is one resilient, cohesive system that just works.
And that really brings us right to the final thought. We've seen the tech, we've seen how it all fits together. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What could your business, your team, your projects, what could you truly achieve if downtime was simply off the table? If it was no longer part of the equation?